do against Borussia Dortmund, and to steer us through the match, it's Ron Atkinson and first Peter Drury.
And for the first time after 16 years away, Liverpool are ready to return to a field on mainland Europe in Europe's top club competition. That is that field, and it is one to which Liverpool took a liking last May, and it is one to which they have been itching to return. Best part of 50,000 inside. Upbeat atmosphere, though you will notice that as a result of last week's attacks on America, UEFA have toned down their own regular pre-match razzmatazz for these nights. There's no flag waving and there is no Champions League anthem. But there is Michael Owen back in Germany. And of course, we have here too yet another variation on the much-loved England-Germany theme. So this Liverpool lineup includes only 5 English faces, and rather contradictorily, 1 German. 5-1, that rings a bell. Only 4 Germans in the Dortmund lineup, of whom Christian Wernz might have greatest cause to fear a revisitation from England's front line. And there he is. 3 Brazilians, that's Stevic the Yugoslav, and little Rosicki, of whom we were speaking beforehand. And Liverpool in their new livery for this competition, a reminder of glory days gone by. Team news, Dortmund declared 2 injury concerns yesterday. Unsurprisingly, goalkeeper Jens Lehmann and Stefan Reuter both passed fitness tests. Reuter and fellow international veteran Jürgen Kohler, the only ones there to have played in Dortmund's Champions League final of '97. The surprise selection, Norwegian Jan Derek Sorensen, a constant in many of Rosenberg's campaigns. Amoroso, the costliest striker in Germany, and Koller, the tallest. Not impossible that Gerard Houllier picked his 11 partly on the basis of happy Dortmund memories. 8 of these started against Alaves here, though man of that match Gary McAllister isn't included. Of course, there's a difference in goal, and in the continued absence of Marcus Babbel, Jamie Carragher, who was left back then, is right back now. Gregory Vignal completes the puzzle. Unusually in these days of squad rotation, that was Saturday's team. Again, Robbie Fowler starts on the bench, nor has he left the bench in the last 2 games. He is one of English football's current rolling news stories. Peggy Arfexad provides keeper cover, though Chris Kirkland played for the reserves last week. He is on the trip, and he should soon be involved. And before kick-off, a respectful reminder that while European sport has found itself broadly able to move on from last Tuesday's terrorism, many, many thousands never will. And we will shortly remember the victims of New York, Washington and Pittsburgh in a moment's silence. Many of these players, Dortmund were particularly outspoken, felt that they shouldn't have had to play last Tuesday evening, and many onlookers, of course, would sympathise with that view. Our referee is a Muscovite PE teacher, to some extent acquainted with Liverpool, having overseen England's victory over Finland at Anfield in March.
Meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, die UEFA möchte ihre tiefe Traurigkeit und ihr Entsetzen über die schrecklichen Ereignisse, die in der letzten Woche in den Vereinigten Staaten geschehen sind, zum Ausdruck bringen. Unsere Gedanken und Herzen sind bei den Opfern dieser furchtbaren Angriffe und unsere aufrichtige Anteilnahme gilt ihren Familien und Freunden.
Ladies and gentlemen, UEFA wishes to express its profound sadness and horror at the tragic and terrible events which took place in the United States last week. Our thoughts and hearts go out to all the victims of these dreadful attacks, and our sincerest sympathy to their families and friends.
In an uneasy world, what follows is only a game. Liverpool will kick off that game, as they did in May, attacking the end, at which 7 of the 9 UEFA Cup final goals were scored, 4 of their 5, including the golden own goal. Ron's made it over from Old Trafford last night. Do you have a feeling about this one, Ron?
I think we're going to get a cracking game, and funny a feeling, we saw the team captions go up, and we've been given that the information we got that Stefan Reuter, who's been one of the best defenders in Europe for a long time, good wing back, good central midfield player. I just wonder whether he's going to play in between the 2 centre-halves to try and give a little bit of insurance to Kohler and Burns.
Jens Lehmann there spent the night of the 5-1 famous game in Munich on Germany's bench. Probably the right place to be. Letting Oliver Kahn take it all on board and face this fellow who's running towards him now, Michael Owen. It's out by Wernz, who was so frightened by Liverpool's number 10, and who's now under pressure from Heskey. Been a lot of rain in the last hour or two before kick-off. The playing surface will be slick and quick. Risa came on for the last 20 minutes of the game against Boavista at Anfield last Tuesday and did lift it to some extent, offered Liverpool more attacking width down the left-hand side. Heskey gave it away to Kohler, 6'8", unmistakable. Through by Stevic, picked up by Amoroso. Hopia was there, and then Osho back to base.
Yeah, I think the exciting thing about tonight, Peter, is if you look around, the best part of both teams at the moment, he's offside, he's giving him offside anyway, best part of both teams would appear to be the attacking talent. We spoke in depth about Heskey and Owen and people like that, but they've got useful forwards. We saw Kohler last year, very effective for Anderlecht. Amoroso has had successful years in Serie A in Italy.
Gerrard driving it long and searchingly towards Murphy.
Certainly no question as well, Dortmund have taken it on board the international match, because Reuter is definitely going to play in as the insurance man.
Hamann, for whom the international match was also very pertinent in his life, and who's taken an awful lot of stick. Remember, it's less than a year since he scored the winner for Germany at Wembley, so he's had his own moment. Stefan Osho, who played a couple of years in the Bundesliga himself with the Hamburg. Carragher up the line. Partially out by Dede. The touch was from Stevic, which almost fell for Heskey. And now the Brazilian Dede. Both fullbacks are Brazilian. Brought it away, but not terribly effectively. It came to Michael Owen.
I can't believe the amount of space Owen's got already. He's made runs through the middle of the 3 central defenders. He's just made one down the outside of them. And you would think there'd be somebody in close attendance. That's a super ball inside the fullback.
From Gerrard for Vignal, who crossed with immediacy, but onto the chest of Reuter.
That looks to be a change in the Liverpool lineup as well from Saturday. It looks as if Gerrard's going to play along shoulder to shoulder, if you like, with Hamann.
Wernz, whose confidence was so battered by England in Munich that he did actually ask, I'm told, not to play in the next Bundesliga game against Bayern.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's his suggestion, the tactical ploy they're having tonight. He wouldn't have fancied going it alone against either Owen or Heskey.
Evan Nilsson with Borussia Dortmund's throw. Got it back from Stevic, tried to ride the challenge of Risa. And won another throw. Played a couple of games in this competition for Monaco, Risa, last year. Evan Nilsson's 1-2 with Stevic, the Yugoslav. And Vignal can see it behind. The chaps beforehand were making the point that Liverpool might profit from being away from home. Certainly the facts bear that out. It's a long time since they have lost a European game outside of Anfield. Many of last year's more nervous nights during the UEFA Cup run were at home. And they were unbeaten on their travels. Heskey.
Yeah, encouraging. Received, turned inside, went away from Burns. Got away with a shot. He may have been, being overcritical, he may have taken in a bit closer, but certainly good signs that.
Interesting news from elsewhere in Group B, Ron. Boa Vista, we know, scored an early goal at Anfield last week, and they've got another early one against Dinamo Kiev in Oporto. Goal scorer Sanchez after 4 minutes. 1-0 for the champions of Portugal in this group. Reuter unable to go on because of a problem for Big Collar in the centre circle. He has a long way to fall, and as he did fall, was it Harman's leg that made contact with his inadvertently? Or perhaps it wasn't his leg that made contact.
In a very awkward position. How about inadvertently?
Well, you spotted it earlier on. Look at how deep Reuter is starting.
Yeah, but what surprises me, when they get possession, the Germans, how wide their two central defenders split. Now, that's all right if you're good enough to keep the ball, but if they lose it, they're now going to leave gaps down the middle.
Gerrard. This time Heskey's pulled away wide, and Murphy's dashing through the inside right channel. Got away from Kohler, but not from Dede. Vignal. Reset, as by Evan Nilsson, and playing in Vignal again. There's a feature of last week's game that Gregory Vignal sometimes disappointed by not getting over the halfway line often enough until Risa joined him for the latter part of it.
I think that's handy, you know, if you got two sort of left backs sometimes, which Risa is, in tandem, particularly if one of them is a left-footed player. You know, he gives a good balance to the side. I'm just looking at their lineup. Their two flank defenders, Evan Nilsson and Dede, the two Brazilians. They don't look as if they know whether to stick or bust. In this system, they should be looking to drive on a lot.
Frenchman Vignal with the throw. Risa came to get it, but not a terribly good effect. And just as at Anfield last week, Boa Vista have had their early goal cancelled out against Dinamo Kiev. It's Boa Vista 1, Dinamo Kiev 1 now. Heskey for Liverpool. Tackle was a good one from Rosicky. Collar was quickly onto it, and here for the first time, potentially meaningfully, is Amoroso, the Brazilian. Stevic. Reuter. 35 years old next month, Stefan Reuter. I guess we'll call it the wrong end of his career, but it's been a fine one, including a 1990 World Cup winners' medal. Collar. Shrugged off Harman. Invited Denny forward from fullback. Collar. Rosicky. Rosicky's shot. He can't be allowed space. Just his range, Thomas Rosicky, an imaginative ideas man who won't need a second asking.
Fairly good opportunity, that good setting up ball from Jan Koller. He's got time to look, there's nobody really pressing the ball, and he should at least be on target from there. Plenty of space to shoot at. I would put that down, a good chance for them. That is a little problem sometimes when you get people like Rosicky playing that little position behind the front players, and I wondered if that was in fact why Steven Gerrard's gone in alongside Didi Hamilton. Didi Hammond.
Still only 34 years old, Matthias Sammer, and coach of a major club here. It's quite a career achievement for a man whose splendid playing life was cut short by a knee injury 2 or 3 years back. Certainly in the veteran bracket. Driven towards Sorensen, the Norwegian. He goes face to face tonight with an international teammate, John Arne Riise. Riise's throw, fairly sure that struck Heskey on the hand, but it was blindside of the referee. Koller didn't make a fuss about it. Gerrard, Arne. Hupia. Dealt with well by Evan Nilsson in combination with Sorensen, but Koller had nowhere to go.
It's a strange thing about Koller, you know, you look at him and you think, great big fella, what is he, 6'8" or something? You know, everybody says, plant, make the ball go on top, watch him, beware of him there. I was more impressed with him last season in his target play, in his setting up play, receiving it and bringing people into play. He didn't always pose that much of a threat, I didn't feel, last season in the air.
He did also score an excellent goal last week in Kiev, getting the ball out from under his feet and driving sharply right-footed. Kohler's back pass. Lehmann's clearance. On by Koller. Regardless of all we've said, does have a vast height advantage. He's also 15 stones plus. He takes some shaking off the ball.
He's like a big yap stam, isn't he, to look at?
Arman. Hupia, who in tandem with Robbie Fowler lifted the UEFA Cup around about that centre circle 18 weeks ago tonight. Owen, who funny enough didn't score that night. One of only 2 starts in his last 13 for Liverpool on which he hasn't scored. Vigna, Riise wide of him, Heskey in field of him. This is Riise. Vigna. Stevic got something on it, Riise got more on it, Owen brought it down and worried Koller and set it up for Gerrard, whose first touch was gloriously imaginative. Having lifted it over one centre-half, he ran into the other. Vigna has it back, and now Owen, who is penalised.
That's a pity there, Michael Owen just couldn't get the ball snappier under control. He could have set Riise in for a shot from very close range.
The Brazilian there, Evan Nilsson, and another Brazilian has scored in Portugal. It's all happening there. Boavista 2, Dinamo Kiev 1 after just 11 minutes. Silva re-establishing Boavista's lead in this group. Hupia's clearance. Now Owen with a chance to worry Wernz. And that's what Reuter's there for.
Yeah, you could see he was willing there, Reuter. He certainly lost a few yards of pace, Stefan Reuter, but that was desired. He knew he had to get there in front of Owen.
Riise's throw. Gerrard coming to meet it. Nasty bounce, which Heskey got onto. Owen went down. Nothing doing. And Amoroso is fouled by Jamie Carragher. It's another one of the Liverpool men who played in the big game in Munich. Zama himself, as a player, of course, was a part of the team that won this competition in 1997. He was captain on the night against Juventus in Munich. Murphy. Harman. Now that's a terrific pass, and Rees didn't do it justice.
Oh, you're right, you're spot on. That is as good a pass as I've seen this season. Delightful ball. Rees, I think, got a bit anxious with it.
Gerrard. Carragher. Gerrard's ball in. Heskey's leap. Points away from him. Vignal rather dwelt on it, and Sorensen took it from him. Stevic. Dede. Collar. Rosicki. Goes down by Harman. Interesting times for him. He'll have enjoyed shaking one or two hands in the pre-match routine, meeting up with friends and colleagues.
I think he'll also enjoy, you know, Peter, he'll also enjoy the fact he's with some very energetic midfield players on his own side.
Amoroso. Out by Vignal. Risa. Not asked too much even of Michael Owen. Stevic. Liverpool have a very good record in Germany. Supporters who followed them to this neck of the woods in the past have tended to see them successful. Rosicki threatening now, though, with another drive that rises over. It was from that sort of range that he began his incursion into Arsenal's box at Highbury last season. And Zama smiling at his contribution there.
Almost a carbon copy of his earlier chance, you know, almost balls slightly lower. I don't think Liverpool can afford to let him have too many situations there. I think one of the midfield players, be it Hamann or Gerrard's certainly got to keep a little lookout for him when he's around the box areas.
Heskey. Gerrard. And out by Amoroso. £16 million worth of striker from Parma in the summer. He top scored in Serie A 3 years ago for Udinese. And off the ball, the referee has gone to his pocket, and Stevic appears to be the recipient of the yellow card. Perhaps a clue here as to why he was late arriving, and he took plenty of Heskey. It's 3 yellows for a suspension in the Champions League these days. Liverpool started with Gregory Vignal and Dietmar Hamann, both on a single yellow card. Here's Collar, brought that down beautifully and played it back for Dede. It required Huppier to do some adroit defending. Here's Stevic.
It's certainly noticeable now that both flank defenders are from Dortmund are looking to push forward more.
Kohler flinging it wide towards Evan Nilsson. Vignal doing what was required. Only 7 starts before tonight, Gregory Vignal. He feels fairly established now. He's a new boy. Amoroso playing in. And Dudek underneath it. Still to keep a clean sheet, Jerzy Dudek. Funnily enough, he played in the last Champions League game to take place in this stadium when Dortmund were last involved a couple of years back with Feyenoord. 1-1 draw. Carragher. Heskey, nice touch. Murphy, nice idea. Nothing more than that. There's Stefan Reuter, 69 caps, none since the World Cup in France, 1998, that's when he quit. Really imparting pressure on Lehmann, and he responded well. Murphy. And again from Gerrard. Harman, he's done well there. Gerrard. Good ball. Heskey onside.
Just a little bit heavy, just a little bit less weight on the pass, and I think Heskey would have been clean in and goal there.
Amoroso holding off Risa and playing in Sorensen. First glimpse at either end, inside 20 seconds or so there. And for reasons to elicit applause at either end of the ground. Heskey hauled over, and it's Liverpool's free kick. Jurgen Kohler at his back. He is always at the centre of that debate, Emil Heskey. Whether he backed in or whether he was pulled to earth. And this time Zama has cause to frown, because the free kick is given in favour of Liverpool's England striker. And Steven Gerrard is in the vicinity of the free kick, together with Didi Hamann and John Arno Risa, who would offer a left-footed option. It's Risa! And Lehmann's dropped it and got it second time. Though he had been protected, Michael Owen, his smile a wry one, out of a striker perhaps constantly irritated by the extent to which goalkeepers are protected in situations like that. Well worked free kick. Collar. Stevic. Dede. Carragher to safety. Votes. Reuter. So we hope you're into touch. This is Evan Nilsson behind Cafu in the Brazilian pecking order in that position. Stevic, who himself has a handful of international caps for Yugoslavia. Risa kept it in nimbly and found Heskey expertly, and Heskey has Gerrard alongside.
Just a bit surprised Heskey didn't go it alone then. There was space for him to run into, and when he's in flow he's as powerful as and as quick as Owen.
Eddie Murphy just failed to keep it in alongside Jurgen Kohler. 105 caps for Germany, the fourth German to go past the century after Beckenbauer, Matthäus and Klinsmann. It's fair company to keep.
I think it's important from Liverpool's point of view, though, Peter, that they keep that Owen and Heskey keep pestering and working those three central defenders. They may not get as much out of them in the early part of the game, but as sure as anything, they'll go tired. Certainly Reuter and Kohler won't fancy the last 20 minutes if there's a lot of pressure kept on them.
Carragher. Relaxed first touch. Only man Jamie Carragher to have played in all three of England's internationals this season. Played a lot against Holland at Tottenham. Wurtz. Who also, incidentally, was given the runaround last week, I'm told, by a brand new striker for Dynamo Kiev, who you'll see at Anfield next week. Here, though, is Sørensen. Now by Hupia. Well worked by Hamann, and cleared from Gerrard. On by Owen. Liverpool have broken with speed here, but Heskey needs further support forward. Reuter did the jockeying. Liverpool thought they had the throw, but Reuter's actually come up with a jackpot.
I think those are positions, though, that Liverpool must exploit. They know they've got quicker forwards, and certainly Heskey there, 1v1 against Reuter, is entitled to get the ball in behind him and make Reuter turn.
Heskey's foot up against Hamann. Osho. Hamann, quarter-finalist in the Champions League with Bayern Munich. Hupia, who gave up the chance to play in this competition when he joined Liverpool from Willem II just after they'd finished runners-up in Holland. It was an awkward part of his decision-making process at that time, but it's a decision well and truly justified now. And it's Hupia who hits it long towards Owen, Wurtz away. Riese's foul on Emma Nielsen. Quiet first quarter. Wurtz with a free kick. Hamann. Now a reminder, should you need it, that the Premiership appears on ITV1 these days, principally at 7 o'clock on a Saturday evening. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United all feature heavily in this week's show. Here's Sørensen. Over the top of Collar, and Murphy should deal with this. Earns a goal kick, and just to finish off news of our upcoming programmes, Ron, as you saw there, continued coverage of the Champions League, which next week majors on Liverpool against Dynamo Kiev next Wednesday, live on ITV1, 7:30. And you can read all about that and much more on our website, itv.com/football.
Just thinking here, Peter, I think it was a great opportunity missed again. Sørensen stood the ball up, and how you can miss a fella as big as Collar at the back post, I don't know. In fact, Collar appeared to shrink a little bit there as he went up for it.
Rosicki. Amoroso. Let go by Evan Nielsen and picked up now by Vignal. And here's Heskey with space and Owen ahead of him, and Vignal galloping forward from left back. And Murphy locating him. Here is Gregory Vignal for Liverpool. Fired it against Wurtz. And Lehmann can keep it in unchallenged. Wurtz. Kola. Stevic. Reuter lying deep. Carragher going in on Dede. And so Jamie Carragher allowed to get away with his challenge. He did though yield a throw in. Here's Stevic again. Amoroso, Collar. Amoroso, Collar. Vignal did well, corner. It's the point we made about his niftiness on the turf as well as in the air, Jan Collar. And Vignal covered well from left full back. He was the last man before goal. Worrying moment or two for Liverpool. Rosicki with the corner. And Kola going in there. And Riese getting it at least partially clear. And again Riese. There's Owen, and Murphy's got ahead of him.
I think Liverpool have just got to take a little bit more care with the passing. Once they've broken the attack down, I think they've got more time and more space than they realise. They've got a little bit anxious when they're trying to attack quickly.
Stevic. Amoroso. Evan Nielsen. In towards Koller.
That's incredible, he's missed the header again, you know, the big fella. He's had two half-decent balls into the box for me and he hasn't got anywhere near them.
Bit of noise now, bit of feel about the game. And a sense that Dortmund are getting into the driving seat here. Dede. Koller. And a fairly hideous miss-kick by Amoroso.
Certainly what they're doing at the moment, Dortmund, they're dictating the tempo, which isn't a particularly high tempo, but they're keeping possession a lot better than Liverpool.
Genial shove on Sorensen, and Dortmund's free kick. And Liverpool have been pinned inside their own half for quite a little while now. Thomas Rosicky can test Jerzy Dudek from here. Olsho and Hübner on their mettle too. It's the Czechs' free kick. Gerrard's clearing header. This is Jürgen Kohler.
Magic defender, great spirit, big heart. Don't remember him scoring too many goals from that range.
I was going to make the point. Became a big legend at this club after the famous semi-final against Manchester United in '97, Jürgen Kohler, in particular for one goal-line clearance, I think you remember, from Cantona at Old Trafford.
To this day, I still think that went in. I don't know how he kept it out. Cantona was about a yard out and he flung himself in. Had a great block.
Rosicky. Well, that is a good tackle, and it found Heskey, and he found Risa, and Owen has peeled away on the far side. Gerrard. Carragher's kept it in. Murphy's in support of him. Harman is square. Heskey. Murphy.
Unlucky, that was better. Series of passes are put together there, Liverpool.
Olsho's challenge on Koller has not only hurt the big Czech striker, but it has caused a certain amount of enmity inside the ground. Not quite sure what Michael Owen had to do with it. Nothing given.
No, the big man was clumsy there. He was losing possession. He's losing his nuts. And I think Hancho, well, he certainly caught him, but I think a lot of it is down to the big man's clumsiness more than anything else.
Rosicky.
Yeah, he started to buzz a bit. Rosicky and Stevic are certainly getting out plenty of good ball possession now and popping it around.
And this kick by Reuter. Liverpool's throw. Even now to the last quarter of an hour of the first half. Short on goalmouth action, which has offered Liverpool one or two worrying moments at their end. It's Risa's throw. Heskey's gather. Kohler's clearance. Rosicky's turn. Koller's touch, and Amoroso's run now, with Sorensen ahead of him. And he's found Jan Derek Sorensen, who can run at Vigna. And earns only a corner. He was slightly handicapped there, Sorensen, by the fact that Koller had gone down in the centre circle at the start of the move, and there was precious little for him to aim at. And I think it was Olsho's challenge on Koller in the centre circle which has earned him that yellow card.
Yeah, he may be a bit fortunate to get away with the earlier challenge, but I think the referee got him well plotted for that one.
And he played advantage very well. Rosicki again with a set piece. Kohler to aim at there, you saw near the penalty spot. And the header from Wernz looping over. News from Group C of the Champions League, and it's uplifting news through English eyes. Freddie Ljungberg has scored for Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Schalke 0. And you will see that goal at half-time in the company of Mr. Leinen. Schalke, of course, the local rivals here to Borussia Dortmund. They met in the Ruhr Derby over the weekend. And Dortmund, who've conceded a free kick there for a foul on Michael Owen, were beaten by a goal from, of all people, one of their own heroes, Andy Muller, and it was a belter. Zammer, though, now more concerned with the defence of a free kick, for which Phil Thompson is just waiting to bellow. He's the volume on the Liverpool bench. The last one from similar range was nicely worked, with Gerrard making a diverting run to the right and Riise hitting it left-footed, but it's Riise more or less alone over this one.
If he's going to shoot, I wonder if he's going to get a bit of skid off the turf. You know.
Riise's lifted it in towards Heskey, out by Reuter. Walsh, Heskey turned well, and well, the notion was to play in Riise through the inside left channel. Collar naturally up highest, and Amoroso shaping. Sorensen. Evan Nielsen. Stevic. Vignal well stationed, and Harman clear. And Heskey to hold it up, and Owen to go ahead of him, and Harman to deliver the pass now. Gerrard had run 50-60 yards very, very quickly and couldn't quite keep it in check. Things getting better at Highbury as well. It is now Arsenal 2, Schalke 0. Thierry Henry with Arsenal's second goal. Boy, do Arsenal need that after events in Mallorca last week. The feeling is a similar one with Liverpool, that they dropped points on match day 1, and they've got to grapple them back from somewhere, possibly here.
I just feel if they can control the game a little bit more and keep the ball more in midfield, I could see them picking Dortmund off. At the moment, I think they're trying to play a lot of quick balls out the back into the front players that aren't accurate enough, and the Borussia defence are picking them off.
Wernz. Colin. Evan Nielsen.
He actually seems to be a much better header outside the box, doesn't he, when he's playing like target link-up headers rather than when he's trying to strike for goal. That's an interesting ball.
Hit long by Riise. Taken down on his chest by Heskey. Kohler's got so much savvy. Just worked it out and leant on his man, found himself a yard, and dealt with it. The personification of efficiency. Here is Amoroso. Gede tried to go around Carragher, who's denied him access to the penalty area, and who found Murphy, who in turn picked out Owen with a good pass. And Riise's free down the left flank. Only Heskey forward at the moment for him to aim at. Riise playing it in towards Heskey, at least broadly speaking.
Yeah, it's not a very pleasant situation when you're wide like that and you look up and you see about 3 yellow shirts and one of your strikers in there. Riise, who's got a great left foot, really wants to put the ball in early, and notice that Heskey's with little or no support.
Turned into a filthy night. It's in the steroid rain.
When they came out, I actually thought Dortmund looked a little bit frightened of Liverpool. They looked as if they didn't have a belief in themselves. But they've got well into the game, and I suppose they've enjoyed the greater part of possession and have probably had the better situations to score from. A couple of chances from Rosicky from outside the box, and one or two crosses that could have been very dangerous.
Stevic. That was a well-worked dummy by Risa. And Heskey hit it straight at Wernz, who's received great protection tonight if he really was losing sleep over the prospect of meeting Michael Owen.
Oh, he'll have welcomed that business of having a spare player at the back. See, Liverpool's front two for about half an hour now haven't had great service. They've had one or two opportunities to make things happen, but they haven't had a great service. I mean, I can hardly recall a good ball that Michael Owens received. I think this fella Haman and maybe Gerrard, who's now gone out onto the right wing, which he does quite well.
This is Gerrard.
I think maybe those two should try and retain the ball a little bit.
Dortmund, you heard at the start, were 2-0 down in Kiev last week and were therefore clearly much more uplifted by their point than Liverpool were by theirs. Gallagher's throw and Liverpool's corner. Murphy did enough. The referee's assistant made the decision. It was blindside of the referee, and I must say of us as well. But Risa now with that left foot of his. There aren't too many left feet in Liverpool's team to deliver. Well, they've all got one. You know what I mean. It's Risa's corner. And Lehmann came and got nowhere, and Evan Nielsen had to hack that off the line. Sorensen away. Picked back up again by Carragher, and Heskey's offside.
The irony of all that was probably the best ball either strikers received, the ball from Carragher.
But it was the right decision. He was a yard or two in front. Or I thought, actually, you know, he wasn't. He wasn't, he was onside. Wrong decision by the Russian official. Foul on Amoroso. It's of Udinese, then of Parma. And now a threat to Jerzy Dudek. Sama has never spent more money than he did on Amoroso. He spent 8 million of it too on Rosicky. This is a big spending German club. With the talent available in scenarios such as this. Rosicky closest to the ball. Stevic also available. Stevic drove it.
Big deflection. He's right. Stevic has got every right to appeal. It's a big deflection for a corner, that.
Oh, not much.
You're amazed that when the referee must see the ball sort of deviate like that. There was one at Old Trafford last night where the keeper's made a hell of a save, and the referee didn't give it. I mean, that was so obvious then.
Evan Nielsen. Up by Vigna. Evan Nielsen. You remember, cleared off the line for Borussia Dortmund a short while ago. Liverpool's most threatening moment. Kola. Woods. Stevic. Sorensen. From Gerrard, and Sorensen's ball in.
Having a little bit of joy up this right side. Combination play between Evan Nielsen and Sorensen. They're getting one or two little 1-2s and getting balls played in behind Vignal.
Now by Heskey on Stevic. And Rosicki's got on with it quickly. Evan Nielsen. There's to be 1 extra minute to be added on to the end of the 45. In a game without significant stoppages. And incidentally, I can tell you that Schalke have pulled a goal back at Highbury. It is Arsenal 2, Schalke 1. You'll see all of those goals at half-time in this game. Well, by John Arne Riise, thinking about a free kick for Liverpool, which is likely to represent their last chance to construct anything before the break. Reuter patrolling the front of the penalty area. Gregory Vignal. By Dede. All up for Stevic. Right now for Sorensen. Evan Nielsen. Amorosa. Well done, Steven Gerrard. Super ball for Owen. Notched down for Riise. John Arne Riise. Reuter came across. Owen.
He's
got a pull. Owen's kept on going. And now he's claiming a handling offence as well, but
certainly Reuter pulled his shirt there.
Without doubt. Without doubt. First time Owen's really got the chance to run at them and worry them, and that is a talking point.
And I think he just did enough to put Owen up, because Owen had just checked inside to get his shot off, and I think the little tug has just done enough to put Owen up.
Here it is. Last moments of the first half.
See, he throws him out of stride, doesn't it? Yeah.
He's still threatened after that, Michael Owen. One of relatively few talking points in the first half, during which Liverpool did have the ball kicked off the line by Evan Nielsen.
That would have been harsh, the second one, the handball when it bounced up, but I think the first one was a genuine shout.
But at half-time, despite his efforts, it is Borussia Dortmund 0, Liverpool 0, Des, Ali and the Arsenal action coming up.
It is Borussia Dortmund 0, Liverpool 0. So, Ali.
We're going to have to earn our money here, Des, I'll tell you that.
Looking a bit like it, isn't it?
That's not a classic, was it?
No, it wasn't really.
Pretty poor, really.
Why did they cancel each other out, do you think?
It looks like that. There doesn't seem to be any real urgency about the game either. I mean, I don't know whether they're a little bit scared of each other or scared to have a go. Yeah. But there's been really nothing of major incident or talking point to get excited about. Hopefully more in the second half. I just feel from Liverpool's point of view, I feel they should get the ball forward quicker. And obviously, when the ball's getting played up front to them, Heskey's doing reasonably well holding the ball up, and he's his strength's one of his strong points. But from Owen's point of view, you've got to get the ball down the channel to him. I mean, Owen with the back to the goal, it's pointless exercise, really. You've got to get him in behind.
Well, doing a Sherlock Holmes job with a magnifying glass through the videotape, we have selected 1 or 2 bits for you, and a couple of Liverpool chances. This one came off the line.
That's right. It's a good corner. Riise puts in a good corner. Hippier does well to get up above the defence and gets a good header on it.
Yeah.
And Evan Nielsen clears it off the line. To be honest with you, I don't even know if it's going in.
No,
you know?
No.
But that was exciting.
But now look, penalty?
Yes. I felt it definitely pulls him back. Yeah. And it's a bit of a catch-22 situation there for Michael Owen, because in the week that we're talking about more honesty from players, it'd have been really harsh. The handball would really have been harsh. Ron was right, but it definitely left arm around him, pulls him back. Owen actually does him a favour there, Des, with staying on his feet.
Well, he was genuine, wasn't he? Because he could have just tumbled and he would have probably got the pen.
From Liverpool's point of view, if he does go down, he probably gets the pen. That's the thing. But in the weeks with the excitement we've had in the Premiership, I thought he did well staying on his feet.
Sure. Now, you mentioned Rosicki at the start of the match, and
Yeah,
he looks useful.
I probably think the first half he's certainly been Dortmund's better player. Takes the ball here from Cole, but look at the Liverpool back off. Look at Risa back off, and I think it's Honcho goes. They've got to attack the ball. They've given him a shot at goal there from 25 yards, which is Hooper eventually comes to him. But it happened again straight after it. It is. I mean, when the ball is, it's a difficult role for a defence to pick that lad up when he's playing him in he's not playing up front and he's not playing in midfield. He's playing in the hole, and Liverpool have to get it organised that when he gets the ball, somebody's got to go to him.
And Colin missed a couple of headers, which we're not going to bother to show. He needs to be 10 foot.
Unfortunately, he just lacked a couple of inches there, Colin. They got on the end of those.
Absolutely, no goals here at the moment. As you've heard, there have been goals at Highbury. Arsenal leading Schalke. Let's show you exactly those goals now with Bob Champion, John Champion.
Space opening up, deflected shots! Goal for Arsenal! Van Bronckhorst. Wiltor. Van Bronckhorst is in. Open ground ahead of him. Oh, Henry. It's two! Burma's kick. Andy Müller. Around Van Bronckhorst. And the cross held up for Agali, and Van Hoogdalen!
John Champion there. Now let's just look at the other half times in the Champions League tonight. Real Madrid leading Lokomotiv Moscow by a goal to nil. No goals, Anderlecht and Roma. Boavista doing well, 3-1 against Dinamo Kiev. Panathinaikos 2, Real Mallorca 0. Eindhoven leading Galatasaray 1-0. Lazio 1. Nantes 1 there, the half-time scores elsewhere. Well, here we have no goals for you so far. Dortmund 0, Liverpool 0. We're hoping for better things in the second half. Here it's Dortmund 0, Liverpool 0. A former hero for both these clubs is Karl-Heinz Riedler, and he's now with Gary.
How do you think the second half is going to go? What do you see happening?
I mean, the first half was a decent half, but I mean, the second half, both teams have to do a little bit more than in the first half, and it's not the easiest game for both sides because the pitch is a little bit wet and even the ball. And but I mean, the second half will be definitely better.
Have Liverpool got to create more for Owen to win this match, do you think?
Yeah, definitely can. But Liverpool is playing quite well. That's what I saw from the first half. And Michael was in 2 or 3 times in a good position. But even Dortmund stays quite well in the defense, and it's not so easy to get through them.
Do you think Liverpool will change anything much in the second half in the manner of the way they're playing?
No, I don't think so. I think out of the 2 teams they're probably a little bit happier. I think from Dortmund's point of view, they've surely done their homework in Liverpool, and I think the last 2 or 3 weeks Liverpool have looked a little bit shaky, if anything, in the back 4. They lost the goal against Boavista, which an aerial ball, and I thought with the aerial threat of Kohler, I thought they would have got boys down the flanks and get balls in. They haven't done it. I expect them to maybe do it second half.
Owen and Heskey getting a little isolated at times.
They are. I would like to see more support coming from the midfield, you know, and breaking a lot quicker to have any chance of a goal.
OK, we're all set. Let's see what happens with the second half. Back to Ron and first Peter.
Thank you, Des. Well, maybe he's to blame, Stefan Reuter. Very deep lying, and he, as much as anyone, has blotted out Michael Owen and co. Now that it was 5-4 when Liverpool played on this pitch last, we could do with just a fraction of that entertainment in the second half. 3 days after that famous final, Liverpool went to Charlton and qualified for the Champions League. They need to make an impact in it over the next 45 minutes or so. Gerrard dispossessed by Dede. If you'd been down there, Ron, at half-time, what suggestions might you have made?
I think if I'd have been Julio, I'd have been trying to talk and impress upon the fact that, all right, tactically you're doing okay, you've let them have 2 or 3 looks at your goal, but try and retain the ball a bit more. I mean, there's three defenders there who, albeit pace and if you like, fitness wouldn't be their greatest assets, and yet they're having a comfortable ride because a lot of balls are being knocked straight at those three back defenders of Dortmund.
Kohler over the top. Amoroso was going through and was flagged offside.
I mean, if you're talking tactically, I mean, it may just be a beamy bunny. I just wonder whether something like Gary McAllister might just come on and start putting a few cunning passes that the strikers thrive on. But then you might just lose that little bit of stickability in the middle of the field. And, you know, at the moment, I suppose the result is a better result at the moment for Liverpool than it is for Dortmund.
Heskey. Out to Risa. Awkward one for Dede, who coped with it well. Gerrard, Murphy. Owen. He's kept it in. Heskey maybe was climbed on. Murphy hit one. High. Jürgen Kohler is the defender potentially in the dock for his challenge on Emil Heskey, but nothing given. And Murphy having missed with his shot. Some more great news from Highbury. It is now Arsenal 3, Schalke 1. Thierry Henry with a penalty, his second goal of that game. Arsenal 3, Schalke 1 in the other Anglo-German contest of the night in the Champions League. Reminder that Boa Vista lead Kiev in Oporto in the other game in this group, Liverpool's group. Stevic. Dede. Rosicki. It's a good-looking ball aimed at Sorensen. Vignal miscued, and Ancho's going back and he hit his own post. What on earth is going on in there? In front of the goal where Liverpool profited from a golden own goal, they almost scored one of their own. And now Dede's played it in and Heskey has turned it behind for a corner, and Liverpool need a moment to compose themselves. Zama with reason for hope and Liverpool with reason for self-examination after a moment's mayhem. They got away with it. Rosicki with the corner. Amoroso. Well, it's a spark of invention. It's a moment of excitement.
And it's the last thing Liverpool really wanted after half-time. The crowd lifted. That's a superb ball. Just over the top there. Sorensen makes a lot of it, and that is... I actually think the keeper could have come and claimed it, but he doesn't know it's going to be a freak, an intentional back pass or what. And that is a moment of sheer panic. You need to play one coolly off the side of your own post.
Heskey. There goes Risa. And that goes Evan Nielsen.
And understand why Liverpool, you know, are digging in and trying to make sure they don't concede and let things in. But I think looking at Dortmund are better coming forward than they are defending. I think if somehow Liverpool could take the game and dominate the game and keep a few waves of attacks going at them, I think they could get some joy. But Dortmund are quite effective, particularly little Rosicki. Amoroso starting to get a feel of the game now, Stevic. And to be fair to Sorensen on the right-hand side, he's caused problems. So that looks to be their biggest strength for me, Dortmund, when they're coming forward. I don't think they could sustain any prolonged attacks at them.
Stevic. Searching ball for Sorensen. Fabulous ball. And Hoopier has done well there. Stood his ground. Held off Sorensen, who clearly was a little disenchanted with the challenge, but Liverpool skipper was up to his own business. Stevic with the ball in. Kohler. Dede. Rosicki. Back to base with Kohler. And now Woods. Kohler. Amoroso. Kohler. Good tight passing here by Borussia Dortmund, who do appear to have gone up a gear since Zama had his say at the break.
They're slicking it about. I mean, the surface, I mean, Karl-Heinz Riedel mentioned about how wet the surface was. And if your passing is slick and instant and one and two touch, you can pull defenders all over the place. I certainly think to get a foothold in the game, though, Liverpool have got to get on the ball more.
Heskey won the header. Owen couldn't get on to it, held up as he was by Wernz, but here's Murphy. Wernz again with a tackle, and then Gerrard's ball in, and Wernz with the clearing header, and Sorensen tried to turn, and Rosicky onto it. There's a liveliness about Borussia Dortmund now, though Gerrard is always lively, and Owen is flagged offside. Either he or maybe Heskey in the middle.
Well, that's a let-off for Dortmund. That's a let-off because Owen is on the outside, he's on the extreme. He's the one looking along the line. He's trying to get back onside, but he's just checked. And Heskey was off. They're both off.
Taylor's not happy with the defending though. Amoroso's overhead kick lit up the start of the second half after Liverpool had hit their own post. And here's Rosicky playing it in towards him again now, the Brazilian. Amoroso turning. I'll show with the header out. Here is Sorensen. Reece has done well here.
See, that's come straight back at them.
In goes Kohler, and there's Kohler.
Just looking there when Reece won the ball, he got nothing to hit, so he just flung the ball upfield again, straight into the heart of the German defence. Fortunately, the ball just didn't drop right for the big collar.
Now by Heskey and Jürgen Kohler.
I do feel probably all the hype been about Michael Owen and what he did to the German national side, and he's on fire at the moment. I definitely feel, and I know we're repeating, I definitely feel they're trying to get the ball too long and too early to him, instead of working it into midfield and then playing down the sides of the defence with more quality.
Reuter's free kick. Olsha did well to get up above big collar then, but here's Stevic. Stevic putting in Rosicky.
Good covering, defending that. Good defending. He read it very well, Herpia there.
Murphy, now that is a good ball. And here is Heskey, and Reece is arriving, and Owen's arriving, and Reuter's held him off. Which side of the line? Just outside the penalty area, and it was only just.
I'll just be interested to see what action the referee takes there. I mean, that was absolutely blatant. He knows he's got no chance, Reuter. Got away with a penalty decision just before half-time. Look, not even an argument, that.
Utterly deliberate. Sammy Lee certainly thinks so. They're shouting penalty. They probably know that Reuter's canny enough to get himself outside of the box first. But here's Reece with a free kick in a position of peril for the Germans. Ideal angle for a bit of in-whip, left-footed from the Norwegian Reece. Reece's ball in is repelled at the near post by Amoroso. It's Liverpool's corner. But getting his hands dirty in the defensive part of the field.
But I think the ball that led up to that sort of attacking movement, that's the sort of ball I would be, if I was Hooli, I'd be looking at. Working in the midfield and then slide it into the space. Not a long, hopeful hit.
Gerrard labouring to keep it in and failing to do so. It's better though, Ron. It is better. It's got a certain feel about it in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, there's a tempo about the game. You know, certain things spring people into life, and you know, they had that attacking surge just after half-time. Dortmund did. But to be fair now, Liverpool have given themselves a bit of faith. They'll be a bit annoyed though that Reuter hasn't at least got a booking on for that challenge. I mean, that was a sign of his age. In his pomp, he wouldn't have attempted to do that. Well,
Liverpool based much of their UEFA Cup campaign on stolid performances away from home last year. They, of course, drew in the Nou Camp against Barcelona. They drew 0-0 also with Porto away. Clean sheets on European trips count for a lot.
Yeah, I wondered about that. At half-time we're talking about that, weren't we? I wondered whether, in fact, they've still got that mentality of thinking they're playing in a two-legged thing instead of as a league basis.
Kola.
Because it is a learning curve in the European League.
Kola. Rosicki couldn't give the return pass that Kola craved. Harman. Good ball. Owen. Murphy. Gerrard. Owen hadn't seen the same pass that Gerrard was picking out. Dede away. Kola on the header. Rosicki quickly onto it. Risa tracking back in his way. Another misplaced pass from Rosicki. There have been 1 or 2 at the start of the half, and Heskey perhaps could profit from that, getting away from Wirtz. Heskey into the box. Owen tried to turn. Michael Owen. Free kick given against him, I think, rather than a goal kick. Kola's down. Good work from Heskey, though.
Yeah, he's hanging on and hanging on to his run. I can't quite see what the free kick's for there.
Unless he considered the raised foot to be dangerous.
Yeah, I think then you see Michael Owen diving in. I was just hoping Owen could hang on to the ball a little bit and just feel his colleague. Is it Risa just coming into the box there?
Well, a reason for them to be animated. Michael Owen is so often that reason. Dede. Liverpool have 3 on him, but he still want to throw. And of course, at Kola, got to be dealt with by Carragher. His 4th season in Europe after coming from Sao Paulo. Kola, Stevic, Rosicki, into Evan Nielsen, cut out by Vignal, and now chased away by Risa. Nielsen with nowhere to go but back. Evan Nielsen. Stevic. Sorensen. 1-4 Heskey. And then gives it away to Rosicki.
Just totally unnecessary. That was really an unforced error. When Liverpool had good time, they've done well out of that, mind. Now just put your pass in. Put a pass. The one good thing about when they're putting passes, and the whole side can come up the field together and they stay more as a unit.
Well, the goals are going in a Highbury, but not all for Arsenal. It's now Arsenal 3, Schalke 2. Mpenza with Schalke's 2nd goal. Tight and exciting there. Tight here. There's Kola. Evan Nielsen. He started at right back, but has played a lot further forward than that suggests, and continues to go forward now and impart pressure on Vignal. These are reputed to be amongst the noisiest and most passionate of supporters in Germany. Dortmund, traditionally a working-class, steel-based town, where they rally around their club. Equivalent of Sheffield in a way, except that there's only one club to rally around. Riese tackle, Vignal onto it. Heskey, through for Owen. And back by Reuter for Lehmann.
That was unfortunate. That was a good link-up between the two Liverpool strikers, nearly got Owen in.
Jamie Carragher with the Liverpool throw. Heskey, Carragher, well worked, Owen. In went Wernz, Liverpool's corner. I wonder whether Gerard Houllier, you see Gary McAllister in the foreground there, I wonder whether he might be thinking about throwing on one of those sat alongside him. Robbie Fowler, of course, came on to the delight of those folk to score at that end in the UEFA Cup final. Riese with the corner. And the flick header from Huppier over the top of the crossbar. His last 5 goals for Liverpool have all been away from Anfield, including one in his native Finland in qualifying for the Champions League against FC Haka. And there's your man, Robbie Fowler, who made it his night here after not being named in the original 11 on their last visit, whose relations with management are subject to constant headlines. Stevic, Sorensen, Evan Nielsen, Stevic, Rosicky, Stevic.
They've got some good combinations going, haven't they, between them? The number 10 Rosicky and the number 4 Stevic.
Adverts. Quick from Collar. Amoroso backing in. And Murphy lumping it away. Owen just got a piece of it, which gave Murphy a sniff.
Yeah, Michael Owen today's had to play on too many fighting balls. Had a ball bobbling around him where he's scrambling and scrapping. He's had very little that he can just smooth onto.
Zama tactically appears at this stage to have got things pretty well right. Certainly in his own half, though, as the home side, I guess you might expect Dortmund to be the ones most likely to push for a win. Stevic.
They look for that one a lot. They try and get Sorensen in an awful lot in the space behind Vignal.
Sorensen has won a free kick for a foul on him by Vignal. This is Houllier and Thompson in the rain. Liverpool defending their own penalty area against a Thomas Rosicky free kick. So Heskey can belt it away, but every man, Jack, was behind the ball. Forward by Reuter. Murphy. Testing Wernz. Finding Owen. Harman. Vignal. Gerard's layoff. Only Falcola. Amoroso subject to a tackle by Didi Hamann and awarded a free kick for it. 6 goals already for him in what is his debut season for Borussia Dortmund. A couple on his Bundesliga debut. And he's proving so far worth the money they've spent on him. Dede, Amoroso. Got clear of Hamann, who had a nibble at him from behind. He can't have been surprised to turn and see the free kick given. There was the first contact.
Yeah, he's definitely tried. He tried to be not malicious, but just did enough to make sure Amoroso doesn't follow his run. But they've still got the ball in a dangerous position.
Just about a quarter of the game left. Miroslav Stevic over the free kick conceded by Hamann. On show. Well gathered by Vignal. He's taking on Kola, and has run fully 75 yards here, and has been awarded. Has he a free kick for Reuter's challenge? He has, and that's reward for quite a stint of hard work. They're galloping up the left flank.
Good run here, you know. The 2 old boys are working like anything to try and prevent him, because if he can just wrap his foot round that, I'm not so sure he deserved a free kick, actually. He was given a corner. He could have wrapped his foot round that. Owen was steaming in the box.
Danny Merton. Good catch by Lehmann. Very able goalkeeper, number 2 to Oliver Kahn. Not universally popular at this club because he used to play for Schalke. And anyone who did that doesn't make friends easily in Dortmund. Stevic onto Dedes instead. Simple thing, and won a throw off Carragher. Kola jumped under it. Amoroso held it up. Rositzky hit it and hit the post. Best moment of the game. Provided, not so surprisingly, by Thomas Rositzky.
Well, he's looked the most likely player to score for Dortmund. 2 chances in the first half, or 2 shooting opportunities. That's very unlucky. Great shot, does well to keep it down. They can't get a press on it to make it difficult for him. And that's a letter for Liverpool. Same post as Honcho hit earlier in the game. But that was a super shot.
Well, there's been talk, even in the few weeks since he arrived in Dortmund, Rositzky, that there are big Italian clubs looking to bid 20–30 million pounds for him. But they've made it clear here that they didn't buy him to speculate on his transfer fee. They want him to play. Here's Hamann for Liverpool. And Risa. Vignal caught on it, and he caught Kola, who challenged him. Sorensen's going on. Kola is evidently in some pain. Rositzky, Evan Nilsson. Liverpool have stopped to some extent. Kola is up again. And here's Sorensen. Dede. Tackle from Murphy.
Yeah, defended that well, Liverpool. They were outnumbered at one stage. They were patient. They made Dortmund play across the face of them, passes in, didn't let them penetrate. May have been helped by the fact that the big centre-forward Kola was lying on the floor about 40 yards from the action.
Well, they went over. You thought he wasn't going to get up again, but after a yelp of pain, he is back with us. Rositzky with the corner. Carragher's partially clearing header. Rosicki. Dede. By Hurpia. And then Vignal, back in by Evan Nielsen. Reuter, who's barely crossing halfway. Rosicki.
This fella's everywhere now. Rosicki, he's picking, he's coming short, picking up, he's linking everything in.
Stevic. Kola. Stevic.
I think Dede had one eye on Carragher then. I think he made up his mind he was going to take the pass off Stevic, he'd have got it.
Interesting the way the Champions League has started. We spoke a lot during the course of last season about the necessity to win one's home games and how, on the whole, that was the pattern. Well, here is Gary McAllister preparing to come on the ground where he was man of the match in the UEFA Cup final in May. Scored a penalty, had a hand in 3 other goals for Liverpool. He was just terrific. Heskey. Evan Nielsen. I was just mentioning it, of the 16 matches before tonight, there have actually only been 5 home wins. 5 away wins and 6 draws at the point when everyone had played once. It's a slightly rogue pattern of results. Carragher down the line. Heskey went across. Rosicki. Foul on Kola. Ion Show, who is on a yellow card, needs to walk away here. Kola will go down easily, does go down easily. He's like a felled oak tree. But Osho still needs to be wary of that. Reuter's free kick. By Cole. Evan Nielsen. Rhythmic clapping from the home supporters as Borussia Dortmund tried to re-establish some sort of rhythm. In by Kola. Carragher's missed kick. Kola. Dede challenged and Murphy can bring it clear. Was barged into the advertising boards by Jan Kola. And the Liverpool change is now going to be forthcoming. Gary McAllister, this was his stage. And Gerard Houllier is asking him to play a major part again now. It's a reverse of the swap that was made last week at Anfield. Jonana Risa gives way this time to Gary McAllister.
Just wonder where Gary's going to play. It looks as if Gerard's going to go on the left-hand side. I wonder whether Murphy might have gone over there.
There's a man too, of course, who scored in this competition for Leeds. Ali McCoy still remember it well. He silenced Ibrox. Ali will also, of course, though, remember the outcome of that famous tie. Murphy. Owen thinks he's won a throw. But he's wrong. A very frustrating night for Michael Owen and for any of Liverpool's offensive players. He's in that confident mood whereby he feels anything can happen. He's like a golfer who never misses the fairway right now. but tonight he hasn't been able to get the driver out of the bag.
Yeah, I think however good a strike you are, you do rely on service. You can work, you can make movement. Sometimes you get a great individual effort, but by and large, strikers depend on good service. And in all fairness, neither strikers had a particularly good service. That's mainly because Dortmund have bossed midfield, and Liverpool's midfield players haven't really been able to control the game. That's why one would hope that Gary McAllister might do in the closing stages.
He's involved already. Evan Nilsson went over him and wanted a free kick. The referee ruled in Gary McAllister's favour. And it is just a Liverpool throw. Gregory Vignal's got confused by the whole piece. Owen. Kohler at his back.
They got him surrounded there. They ganged up on him.
I guess he's going to have to become used to that.
But he's certainly played against two of the defenders who have been the best defenders in Europe for the last decade, in Reuter and Kohler. And they've used every ounce of experience to stifle him. What they've done particularly well, you know, when he's received, they've made sure that he hasn't been able to pick the ball up and run at them.
Heskey's header. Now then, Owen away from Kohler. He stumbled, he kept the ball, he got into the penalty area, he got round Reuter, he went over. Nothing doing. Again, to his credit there, Michael Owen stayed on his feet for a while when he might have gone sprawling. Evan Nilsson. Out by Harmer. Very tough side against Sorensen. Now then, news of upcoming programmes. By now you should be making a regular date with the Premiership at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, ITV1. Manchester United, Ipswich, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Bolton. All the other key action this Saturday. And next week's Champions League centrepiece comes to you from Anfield. It's Liverpool against Dynamo Kiev. ITV1, 7:30 on Wednesday. Read about it all on our football website. Amoroso, Brzezinski, Amoroso, Sorensen's onside here and Hupia had to be across.
Great defending, because the number of times that Dortmund have been able to play the ball inside Vignal, and he was across there very, very quickly, Hupia. The right-sided player, Sorensen, doesn't need much encouragement. As soon as somebody in midfield shapes, he'll be on his way.
Heskey going up bullishly. Brzezinski going in. Dede. Got away from Harman. Then round into Murphy. His challenge didn't seem to be full of malicious intent. It got Zammer off his seat though. There goes McAllister, who himself went over Stevic. Evan Nilsson. And out comes Herpia. Gerrard furthest forward. Heskey. Heskey's hit one, which rather sums up the evening.
Yeah, hoping rather than believing, you know.
But as much as we as English viewers might be to a degree frustrated by what we've seen from Liverpool, there are signs in the stadium of an impatience with the home side from the home supporters.
It stays like this, and that's always, if it stays like this, and that's always dangerous to say, particularly what's happened in Europe last night with last-minute goals and so forth. It's a better result for Liverpool than it is for Dortmund.
Gerrard rose well. Owen couldn't get there. Harman. Gerrard. Vigna. Owen. Burns at his back.
That's what they've learned. They've done their utmost, Dortmund, not to let Owen turn on a thing.
Vigna. Heskey. Back stayed down that time, but only because Reuter was stationed between Heskey and goal to do the job he just did. Here's Owen. Murphy only found Amoroso with his cushion header. And Gerrard, for all his energy and very visible busyness whenever he's on or near the ball, even he hasn't been able to have quite the impact on the game that Liverpool might have hoped. Sorensen. Stevic. Rosicki. Dede. Stevic. Herpia's header, back in by Rosicki. Well taken by Amoroso and played in towards Collar. Herpia got an important touch.
Said that a few times tonight, you know, he has made some challenges and some great recovery tackles.
Summer has clearly thought this one through very, very carefully. And whilst it might not make for a thriller-minute entertainment, the likes of Kohler have done a job for him, which to a large degree will satisfy him.
I think Kohler and people like that, and Burns, and if it certainly stayed like in Reuter, will have felt they've almost had an evening off tonight.
And they are throwing on another striker here, Freddy Bobic. Interesting to see in place of whom. Rosicki. That was close to being the match-winning pass. Amoroso just a yard or two off it. Bobic is now ready to be with us at the next break in play. Kohler's clearance. Rosicki. Collar. Rosicki. Evan Nielsen. Collar. Stevic. Ran over it for Thomas Rosicki, who ran into Harman. And now Gerrard. And then Harman. Heskey is labouring behind play at the moment and is hobbling for Liverpool. That's a slightly worrying sight. Vigna. Gerrard. Heskey. Harman. Towards the last 4 minutes of a contest which has, in truth, rarely burst into life, but which has been an improved watch in the second half at least, and in which Liverpool's post has twice been struck. So, from that point of view at least, they would be happy to get away with a point, and a point here on what is probably their hardest away trip in the group, though going to Kiev is always a problem in itself. Wouldn't be a bad point, and you can start to hear now what the home supporters are thinking. Heskey's won it. Owen. Gerrard against Dede.
You know, for a moment I thought that was going to be Owen's scene. Little flick on, high inside right position. I thought he's just going to hook one, and you thought out of nothing, something's happened.
Double change here. Amoroso's coming off and Bobic on. Sorensen off. There is Freddie Bobic. Sorensen off, and in place of him, Lars Ricken. Murphy. Heskey. Murphy. Oh, he couldn't quite take it. The winning goal for Liverpool now would be Son Steele. Bobic, for the record, has scored a goal against Jerzy Dudek when they met in the Champions League when Dudek was a Feyenoord player a couple of years back. Gerrard. Is that a foul by Evan Nilsson? The Russian referee thinks not.
Been very lenient, the referee. All fairness to both teams.
Collar. Bobic. Aimed in towards Collar. And seen away by Vignal. Lars Ricken making an immediate impact. And Bobic, a new target for them in the penalty area. Evan Nilsson. Collar. Woods. Made in by Ricken. Going to ask you very shortly for your man of the match run. We'll just see this attack through first. Evan Nilsson with the throw. Collar going up. And Gerrard away. So who have you gone for?
Well, unfortunately, from Liverpool's point of view, it's got to be the number 10, the Rosicki. I think he's had a superb game. He's been on the ball most of the game. For Liverpool, I think Herbie's been their best player. He's been strong, he's made good challenges, and he's managed to keep Liverpool in the game. But their creative players haven't been as good as you normally expect them to be.
You can take issue with Rod if you like by logging on to our website, itv.com/football. Have your say. Last 30 seconds of the 90, there will also be one additional minute. Owen. Harman. McAllister. Murphy. Owen made the run, Heskey didn't read it. Ricken. Into stoppage time now. Rosicki. Dede. Murphy has been a terrier as ever. Stevic. Well on Rosicki. And last chance for Borussia Dortmund. 30 seconds left to play. If the 1 extra minute is all we get. Dangerous moments for Liverpool, who would be content with nothing each.
Yeah, on the balance of play, that'd be a superb result for Liverpool. But they've got to see this one through yet, Peter.
Stevic with the free kick, which is likely to represent just about the final action of the game. Unfortunately, from Liverpool's point of view, action is barely the word. They're heading for the exits in the Westfalenstadion. Jerzy Dudek is very close to keeping his first clean sheet for Liverpool. That's another plus point to come out of the evening. And only their second as a team of the whole season, and that is precisely what does come to pass at the end of what in truth has been a relatively unexciting evening. Liverpool's post was hit twice. Group B continues stubbornly to offer very few clues. Another drawn match in what is shaping up to be a devilishly tight section. Des and Ali with analysis, reaction and the best from Highbury very shortly. 0-0.